How are y'all feeling? Mm-hmm. Yeah, per usual, I had no idea what we were doing today, except as we started getting up there, and then they set this thing, and they're like, and now you're gonna walk. Oh, oh, okay, okay. If I were you, and for me, I'm gonna go back and listen to that. Um, Max, could you be more fucking beefy and hot down there? Like, where the fuck are you? Good God. Yeah, like that. Okay. And may we all on Max Saw, finding exactly whatever that state of cosmic oceans of bliss is for our realities, too. Were we initiated as Akatui or were we just reestablished as? Do you guys know what the fuck just happened there?
Okay, I have to share something. No one else is talking, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna share because this is fucking wild. Okay, so first of all, I just have to say I
And
expect
hold up. I'm just going to remind everybody we don't judge our experiences based upon another's because we've been in this for a long time, but like that was kind of like next level shit. So yours is just as important as anyone else who shares. Thanks. Thanks.
okay. Uh, okay, so I wasn't expecting. Okay, so I just have to start by saying I think it's hilarious that I went through this whole entire thing having no fucking clue what was gonna happen. I did nothing besides show up to the calls and shit happened and I wasn't expecting it. So how fucking cool. But okay, so all of this week, like I've completely forgotten about my dreams. To be honest, like the first few days, I was recording my dreams. Then I stopped having dreams for a few days or about a week or so. So then I like forgot. Well, over this last, I want to say like 4, 5 ish days, like whatever you said, we were in a time period of some 5 days or something like that right now. Is that not what you said earlier?
Yep, started on the 27th. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so for about that period, I've had back to back each night very lucid dreams where the very first night, like I had watched the show Magicians, and in this show they were talking about lucid dreams. And in this show, what this guy said to the girl to do when you have a lucid dream was like something first, but then like stick your finger, like go like this and stick your finger through your hand. When you stick your finger through your hand, like everything will freeze and you'll be able to see like what's off about this dream. You'll be able to figure out why you're having them. So I have this lucid dream where in my dream I didn't do this specifically, but I had this flash where I was standing there, realized I was dreaming, and then like that part of the scene from the show came in and I was like, oh yeah. So I like do this thing, realize I'm lucid dreaming, wake up. The next night, they're like these just small bits too. They're just small clips. The next night, the clip was of me holding this baby, like a freshly newborn baby, in this giant piece of cloth that was like canvas almost, but I couldn't recognize the cloth, but it was like this big ass, just like beige piece of cloth that I'm holding this like newborn baby in. But I look down in the cloth and there's this like bloody kind of liquidy water which I've started reading, Ashley, and I've started reading the ISIS book. And in there, it talks about when you mix or like when the two, basically, when the two fluids, the semen and the woman's blood come together, that creates like the elixir the of immortality or whatever, right? So I'm seeing this like fluid underneath this child that looks, the color of it is very pink. It's very much like that. Then, okay, then I snap awake. The crazy part that happened, so I have this dream 2 nights ago that all again, it's just another scene. All of a sudden, I'm in this airplane. It's like a small few passenger style airplane. Like, maybe that could fit like us in it. And we're driving, it's like the scene that I see where we're driving is like on this like mountain road. This road is really wide. You can tell it's meant to be like an airstrip, but it's like on like a cliff on the side of the mountain. Like I would picture it in like South America or Costa Rica or something like that kind of scene. But it's going uphill, and then all of a sudden you see a drop off. And that part of the drop off is like supposed to be where the plane is like ready to take off and fly. So the plane's going. In my head, I'm hearing traffic control and the pilot like go back and forth in their little checks. We get to the end. I hear the last check. He says, "You're clear for takeoff." We take off. The plane goes, and then all of a sudden, it just starts to turn and nosedive. And then now I'm no longer in the plane. Now I'm falling. Like we are starting to fall out of the plane, and the pilot turns to everybody and is like, "I'm so sorry." And then so I'm like, fuck, okay, I'm about to die. Like, this is it. Like, I look at the ground, there's like water over here, but I'm like, okay, I'm not even going to get to land in water. So I have no chance of survival. Like, we're going to hit the ground and we're all dead. The next thought was, oh shit, I don't have any of like my loved ones here. Cause I've always thought like if I'm like flying with my boyfriend or my daughter and the plane was to go down, I would just grab them, I would hug them, close our eyes, and know that we'll see you on the other side. Well, I recognized that I didn't have anybody with me, and that thought came into my head. So I just grabbed the pilot, I closed my eyes, and I was like, okay, it's not going to hurt when I hit the ground. So I have nothing to be afraid of. And I know I'm going someplace next. Fuck yeah, let's do this. And then woke up.
Welcome
So
to the side.
yeah, so the last little bit of it that makes this fucking crazy is, so I'm talking to a friend, and you guys know I'm in human design, and there's another Ainamsha that you can use for the human design charts. It's a galactic center one. And I've pulled this chart before, and I've looked at this chart, and it actually really resonated, but it just didn't feel like something for me to dive deep into. I ended up pulling it again last night randomly, and look, the 51st gene key, which is the gate of awakening, the city of awakening, is my life's work in that chart. So I pull the book out to go read it, and I get to the very first page. And in here, he literally says, where did it go? Okay. To follow your initiative is to step off the beaten track and to follow the dictates of your own being. There is no safety net when you follow your own destiny in this way. It is a giant leap onto a path that no one else has traveled. And then the city, the keynote for the first words are the thunder of your giving. It's been thunderstorming like no motherfucking other that I have experienced here in Colorado, and specifically over us in Fort Collins. It was nonstop last night. I literally woke up in the middle of the night, went pee, saw it was flashing almost nonstop, went outside, watched it, and I imagined the electricity from it all coming and like charging up my body.
Ooh.
And as I'm reading that gene key today, which is a fucking all about awakening, oh, the one last fragment of my dream after the baby was the other morning, 2 mornings ago. I was in that half awake, half dream sleep, and I saw a DNA helix like spinning in this direction. It was rainbow, and as it was spinning, the colors of the rainbow were coming off of it,
Ooh.
which is the light body, right?
The
I
coup.
was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Just like came together all at once, and I was like, stop it.
Even today being like the birth of Horus, right? Like it is that new, it is that child, it is like today is when we got to do this.
In my dream, then the DNA helix, then the falling to my death, and like this gene key is all about facing physical death. That's what the shadow is all about, is facing your physical death. And then I have a dream about being like, well, cool, we're on our way out, this isn't going to hurt, didn't necessarily plan to go out this way, but here we are, okay.
Amazing. Woo. Sarah, do we have you on a beach somewhere too? Are you in Florida now? Fuck yeah. Good.
Oh, and we just got back from Vegas from being in Sin City while we were at the Arcadia Festival, which is all about building a new world.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. How was it?
The festival itself, I enjoyed the first 2 nights of dancing, but the style of the festival itself, I actually really didn't like because it was too loud. I couldn't actually talk to anybody pretty
Yeah.
much the whole entire time because of where it was at, being
Yeah.
in Vegas instead of being in the mountains. um, and I got really overstimulated the third night and left like basically just it didn't go how I was hoping it was going to go because you didn't have the capacity to actually connect with other people.
No
And
intimate.
so when you're
Yeah.
no intimacy. And so when you're talking about some of us are being called to start like, building this, what I have been saying to myself over the last like month specifically, really intensely, is that I feel like I'm actually meant to start building the community here around me. And just building more community in general. Like I've tried to go about finding communities and I can never find a community that fully resonates in the way that I'm looking for. And so like, and I don't mean that to be like personally to like this group or anything like that. I'm just saying like in general, right? I think you guys like know what I mean. Like a whole community of people, it's really
Well,
fucking hard.
and I think we've talked, like, the way that Jessa talked about it a couple years ago was really helpful for me. She's like, we haven't healed enough that we know how to be with each other that way. Like, we're
Yeah.
still triggering. So it's felt like over the last couple of years, like, we have Shakati'd so much, we have Merseft so much, so that that possibility of community does get to start being dreamed in now.
Yeah. And so it was like, it was really frustrating to me. Like it was medicine in its own right. But it was really frustrating to me because I was like, okay, the intention of what this festival was supposed to be about is building a new, better, beautiful world.
Yeah.
So we come together. It's intended to be in Wyoming. It has to be switched. It gets switched to Vegas. There was a reason why it was switched to Vegas. Like Matthias's whole speech about it was like fucking wild. He was like, I was afraid to come here. The last time I came here, I left with 20 demons. So we were like, okay. So there was like this whole story around it. So it was meant to be in Vegas for a reason. But the event itself, I was like I get that some of the things, like some of the speakers and some of the people kind of got knocked down because they had to switch. But I'm like, this was supposed to be an event to build a better new world. And one of the speakers brought this up, but I was like, you didn't have the capacity to really have conversations. The only conversations you could have were the few little workshop, like few little exercises we did at the very beginning of the night and or the conversation of listening to the speaker. But there was nowhere to go in this place for quiet conversation because the place it was hosted at, Meow Wolf, was also loud as shit inside.
Wow. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so we can't have conversations about any level of solution. The only thing that we're doing is listening to these few speakers, and then we're spending the majority of this 8-hour block for 4 nights dancing, which is fun, which
Yeah.
is cathartic. It has its own energetic properties to bring shit in. I get it. And to release things. I get it. But I'm sorry, but this was a fucking dance festival. This
Yeah.
was not anything that was actually going to put any amount of true effort or tangibility to building a new world. But then I felt like a dick because I'm like, so many people got so much out of it. But realizing that my biggest problem was going there and being around 1,000 people, like Saturday, I got really fucking emotional because it was the third night of being there. And it's me and Jordan. And the first 2 nights, he and I had an amazing time. But then it's like, okay, now we want to connect with other people here. That's a part of the reason why we
No, it was a
came.
party. It wasn't.
It was a party. And like, but other people were connecting. But I'm like, but they're connecting through that lens. And this is not my scene. This is not my
Well,
lens.
and as you talk, like, it's almost like these three things, right? The will, the awareness, and the compassion. Like, you weren't able to have those three in balance in that setting.
Yeah, it was all lower chakras.
Huh.
And so it I got aggravated to the point where we walked out and went to the car for about an hour and smoked and just kind of sat there so I could ground, so I could start talking and kind of like soundboard some of this out of me because I was feeling so frustrated. But the beautiful thing that did come from that was me being like, okay, I'm seeing like this is an event that 1,000 people paid so much money to come to with these big name people. They're getting big name speakers, big name artists. Yet the delivered service and product, or you know what I mean, intention,
Yeah.
kind of fell flat. And so it really, like, all of these people that I've exposed myself to in terms of spiritual teachers or groups or events or things outside of myself, things that other people have created, I find so much goodness in them, but they're never completely what I'm looking for. And so through all of this journey, and then the beautiful reflection of what you said earlier of like, I, because I need to fucking build it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm the only one that knows, but like I clearly have codes. I clearly have the desire for community and a very specific community for a reason. And people are drawn to me in my uniqueness for a reason. People either love me or fucking hate me for a reason, because you're either with me and my people or you're not. So it was beautiful medicine and realizing that, and also being able to go to Vegas and have fun and get some good time in with my boo, and like feeling like a kid when I walked into Meow Wolf. Like there was a lot of medicine, but in terms of like Arcadia or that group being anybody who I think at least at this moment is actually going to create a better world,
Yeah.
I think they're falling flat. I'd love to talk to them about some solutions, but
Well, playing off of that just a little bit, Red Hot Chili Peppers, like, holy fuck, y'all. I had waited all year long, right? From February until like last Saturday. I didn't have tickets, so I got tickets at the last minute. They were face value, so I'm like, what am I walking into? VIP bitches, like, do I get VIP walking in? Yes, I do. Is everybody else rained on all night? Yes, they are. Am I? I'm gonna stay dry. Great fucking night. But what I kind of watched was that same idea, Destiny, where like, these are my boys. I have listened, like, they feel like family to me. I've known them for a very long time. And yet, like, there's zero intimacy that they're giving on stage. Like, at no point, like, other than them acknowledging Denver with, like, it smells real good in here. They don't acknowledge the rain. They don't acknowledge that we've been waiting in the rain. Like, there's no intimacy. And what I kind of watched instead, because, like, there was a frustration for a second, I'm like, wait. Can I learn from them how these 5 little goofballs on a stage are able to affect thousands with their energy? So instead, like, that was the activation that I picked up that night. I'm like, let me be fucking Flea, right? Like, not saying anything at all, but everybody's gonna feel him. Cool. So it was just a different game, right? Because I could be in that place of like, this. There's nothing to be disappointed in that night. It was fucking fabulous. Song saw. But no intimacy. And what I realized, like, my game is intimacy. I like the smallness. I like being able to connect. I like that's what feeds me, not the massive, not the anonymity. There it is. Hunaniti and
yeah,
anonymity. Yeah.
that's the biggest, like the most center little dot bullseye of the key piece of everything that I have been feeling when I go to these experiences and I interact with other people, and why I want to create something, because that's exactly fucking it. People don't know how to be truly intimate with each other. Like that
And it
story
might
that I
even
told.
be that a certain level of people, because I watched, again, I can judge. I totally fucking have judgment in me. FYI, in case you've not figured that out, this whole row of fucking goofballs in front of me doing coke all night, and I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, how old are you? So I think maybe in groups like that, they need to have an experience that gives them transcendence, but they don't necessarily, like, I don't need that so much because I do it other ways. So when I'm there, it's something else that I'm seeking, right? So a lot of people may have been turned on and activated by that and by that. But it's not really activating and becoming and like bringing it back in. It's just like, I feel free to be myself because I'm doing drugs and dancing. Okay.
Okay, but what I'm really hearing is not that you're judging. What I'm hearing, and Destiny's saying the same exact thing, and I'm wondering if everyone else is feeling this too, because I am, it's just a perspective change. It's this like humongous, like it's this ability to be like you said about the dream, it's like pause, but it's happening in reality. So we're going pause and everything kind of stops. And then we just sort of step over here. And then we're like, oh, this is what's really going on. Has every concert I've ever been to been like this?
Not really. Sorry. There are bands who talk to us.
No, 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 no. I don't mean like
Yeah.
I don't mean them being
The banter was terrible.
tools, but or whatever
I'm a Tool
90s
fan too.
word for douchebag you want to use. um, no, that was disappointing to hear. You would think like to be a
But
little
we can
bit
see through the
awareness, but
realities now, right? Like it's no
exactly.
longer like,
We're
and
able
it's,
to have that perspective, that shift outside of the meat
that's
suit or
good.
whatever, if you want to
Yeah.
put it that way. But the lower chakras.
Morgan and I went to the restroom at one point in time, and everybody else in there was like totally fucking drenched, soaked. And one girl looked at us and she's like, "So you girls just stayed in the bar the whole time and stayed dry?" And I'm like, "No, ma'am, I did not. I was out there fucking dancing. I just didn't get wet." Like, even watching that, where like her perspective was like prissy ass bitches, like didn't get their hair wet. Prissy ass bitch had a VIP. Thank you very much. Different. So again, like, where is it? Different perspectives, right? Like, I got to do everything I wanted, and I celebrated how the universe was like, "We got you, we got you, we got you, we got you, we got you."
Yeah, what I've noticed is that like I'm not responsible like for anything going on outside of me really. And so it's been very freeing because I'm like, oh, I used to take ownership of how you're feeling. Like
Well, and I
so
think
as a people pleaser, it's been really a really nice shift
it's a new
and a long
experiment.
time coming.
And wasn't
And
that
will
like in
continue to
week
work.
number 2 where like all of a sudden that glamour energy started coming in for me of like project out what you want. And I've watched myself most of my life. Like I let other people tell me what to be, and then I kind of like cater around it in my codependence. And they're like really within all of this. They're like, no, 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 like you fucking be, and we don't give a damn what they say or who they think you are.
So yeah, that's what they showed me too, is they were like, it's because you're Satan. And I was like, excuse me, like, what? And they were like, no, 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 no. Not actually Satan, but like the charismatic, the trickster, like Destiny knows my life's work. So they've been like showing that they're like, yeah, you're this, you could be that. You could be the devil if you wanted to be. But it's that charismatic, convince people of things, sell something. But it's
Mm,
and then the other side of that is me being a people pleaser saying like, oh no, I don't want to intrude, I don't want to interfere, everyone has sovereignty. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on, but it's also a
mm.
new moon in Leo, so I fiercely fucking love myself today, and
And every day.
every day,
Thanks.
especially Sekhmet. But I will say that the joy came in very different for me today. I don't know if anyone else experienced that, but it was like I connected. You said like connect to something different, and I've been
Mm.
thinking a lot about this Leo energy, and so I just connected to that. I fucking love being me. I just fucking love being me. And like that was like such a
Okay,
different Hong
Michael,
Sa.
guess what's fucking wild about this too? Did you remember the 51st gene key talks about awakening? The only key to awakening is actually just being your fucking self.
Boom.
Boom. Boom. I know, secrets of life
Dina, what you
solved,
got over
right?
there? Dina looks like she has something to say.
Oh, Dina, and I loved getting to see Bodie and hold on, Clyde. Yep, got it. Thanks.
Bodie and Clyde. Clyde's in my lap. He's a little spirit antenna. I'm just buzzing with this new moon. It feels like a full moon. And I mean, I know it's the Leo stuff happening. But I thank goodness I'm able to sleep. A lot of people haven't been able to sleep with this moon. But my tongue has been vibrating, like when your eyelid will pulse. My tongue's doing that. I'm like, okay, I'm about to roar, y'all. About to get weird. Like something's moving on up. Something's moving up. Yeah, it feels like a full moon. Totally feels like a full moon to me.
At one point, and Dean, I only saw it because I saw Clyde on your lap. At one point, whenever we were in there doing whatever, I had a priestess kitty licking my foot. Where I'm like, what? But like little white Sekhmet, second boss raw coming right on in here to join us. And I was like, oh my, licking my foot. Yep. Our familiars are with us.
Nice.
Hi,
I
Erin.
was I don't know why I'm feeling so shy. I do like to get together with you guys. I feel like I have a lot to say but nothing. But I've been fasting for a couple of days and it all is really helping quiet down a lot of the extra stuff where I can zone in a lot further on my mind's eye and create there, which is pretty cool. Sort of a newfound fun thing to do as I'm going to sleep. So I, just been gently practicing. I think we're different if we're in this for the long game. Like going to a concert is super awesome. Taking drugs at a concert is like hacking a little spiritual, encounter, and that's awesome. Like go do that. That is included with the pious stuff, like cleaning the house or fasting the body or doing a really good day's work. Here I am, at my desk, and just being extra intentional in a continuous way. Those 3 points, trying to keep them at the forefront of what I put out. So thanks for being such an inspiration. I mean, really had no clue what to expect. And I'm still buzzing from that juicy ceremony. So thank you for that. This has been really romantic and fun. Like
That's a good
it's
word.
cool.
It's dreamy, right? In every way.
Very more in tune with my feelings. So
On Erin saw. It was sweet. Dina sent me a message, I think it was yesterday. She's like, I know that you're getting ready for everything. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. Like, I had no plans for what today was going to be. I really didn't. I knew that the Katui probably wanted to come in, but like, I did a float tank this morning. So my version of cleansing and clearing and receiving. And like, it just, okay, yeah, I guess we'll do that. So just a reminder that let's not say spirit is in charge, but like some part of you as spirit, as the netters, is in charge. And the more that you can be you, let those energies come. Let those energies work through you. Let you work through you. Higher dimensional aspects of you work through you. Let the God of you have some airtime instead of your human always trying to micromanage this shit. Yeah, water is loud. It was good in there. And also recognize
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it was also really bizarre when we were in the cosmic ocean and then we went into the Gamusa. Did anyone else feel that? Because it was like, oh, my water and the cosmic water and
I had a theta session with Marilyn. Was that just last time? I don't know, recently. She did an activation, Marilyn. I don't know if you're still here, but that activation, like it changes the way I participate in the Akasa and in the Akashic. Like that is cosmic oceans of bliss. You are a drop that has been reunited with these cosmic oceans. Oh, fudge. And in that way, like it changes our experience of reality and participating in it. Cool. Game on. And I know some of you will be doing book club. If you're not, it's okay. If the Akashic is right for you when we begin in the fall, it may be too much. Like maybe just one of these a year is what you can do. Don't feel any FOMO with that. I know that that's what I get to do next. And there will be, I know, thanks. It's allowed. There will be grief as we step away because we have spent so much time together and have kind of come to rely on this place and this sweet thing. So if that rises up, like just know this community is always here. Some form or another, through Mighty Networks, through Patreon. I know that Dina reached out so that we can all connect with each other personally too. So like nothing is gone. It's just expanded back into the ocean.
I know you don't like plan your things. So in whatever way you can give us insight into your Akashic thing, can you tell me about it?
Oh yeah, the Akashic. Hold on, let me see if I can channel it in. We're doing it as a 3-month mystery school. They're playing with the name of it right now, which is awesome. But it's ways of like reconnecting to that bliss, pleasure, ease of you and purpose in that way. We've in the past done it only in 3 weeks. This time we're doing it for 6 weeks, so we're expanding everything. So we'll be doing pineal activation. This one we're going to do the Flames of Destiny, which I haven't done before, but they've started like channeling that whole ceremony in, where I'm like, okay. Thoth is also coming in on this one different, and I know. See, Dina, I know. I think I fucking left you that message, or I left it for Marilyn today. Thoth, I think, is leading it. Thoth says he's no longer Thoth because his Akashic reality is done, and we work with Cosmic Thoth, which is Jehudi. Okay, so Jehudi feels like at this moment in time, he's going to be the one who's bringing things in. We'll be working with the Halls of Amenti. We'll be working with past and future lives. But like this one line that was here that I didn't share today because it's kind of like, yeah, it's it. I don't know. Maybe it's it. Maybe I can't find it anymore. We're going to be remembering the past, the ability to remember and to make whole. That the memories are not just of the past, it's the memory of our future. Like that's the kernel of what we're going to be doing with the Akasa. We need to remember a future. So we get to go into the past, we get to go to future and past lives, not for the sake of like personal healing so much, but like service, action, activate. And it is that thing that instead of Arcadia, which has this grand idea but doesn't serve, motherfuckers, I want to serve it up. I want to show up in that and like turn some shit on to move some things forward. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. So that's what I know right now. We'll be starting, I think September 14th will be opening ceremony. And yeah, it's funny. Everything in me like planned on last week, sitting down and getting like graphics together. And they're like, you cannot start Akashic until Dream School is closed. Like there was no way they were going to let me overlap with that. So I'm trying to find my own peace with not like, it's okay. It's coming, and it's so we're going to be moving from this place of like the Akasa into the Akashic creation of reality, web of reality, and teaching people how to navigate it, teaching others how to create on it. Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Yeah, receiving. It's all I can do, right? Like, can I beat myself up that the graphics haven't come in and that I don't have a landing page? Like all of the admin of it, I'm like, y'all. We were using the Sistrum a bit today. I'm sure it was a little bit challenging to hear with the recording. Oh, can we speak of record? Did it do good? Oh, great. I had it like down here the whole time instead of like up here so it wasn't hurting our ear holes.
Yeah, I think that helped a lot.
Okay, great. Yeah, it was... Thank you.
Is that why you only used it for like 5 seconds?
Because in the past, like it blasts us so much and then you can't hear anything. So that's not fun. So
it's so activating though that 5 seconds was like all I needed, but I was just like,
well, the Sistrum for me, like it creates new webs on the Akashic. So they said to do it as we were coming out of this thing of like, and new. And you walk out new and you're greeted by the guy. Okay. After we put ourselves back together and chose, that was cool. That was fucking cool. Anytime you go back to the recordings, I've sound edited those a bit better and I put graphics in. So in that crown, like, oh my goodness, if y'all could hear the fucking music that has come in for that serious activation, like, come on! Because this lady has discovered something called future wave music. Like, ooh, look at me thinking I'm all future wave. It's
that serious activation has just not stopped for me.
Wait till you get it to music, mama. Fuck yeah.
I'll have to do it again and see. Or maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, play. I am working on versions of it that has like me talking and me not talking, so that there's 2 of them. But hubba as that sound came in. Yeah,
What
you're
is it? This is just a place you can grab music to use for videos and
I
stuff?
mean, I pay for it, but yeah, it's called Premium Beat, and so it's people who create music without. Some of it has sounds on it, some of it doesn't.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I pay for.
Yeah, but then you get to use it without worrying. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Then I can use it without being worried about, yeah, getting in
Mhm.
trouble for it.
Then it's clean.
It's clean,
Yeah.
and the energetic exchange of it is in place, and the artists are being paid, and I get to find all kinds of cool shit where I'm like, ooh, boo, 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 boo. And I watch for the ones. I think I told you guys this, that whenever my feet sweat, like that's the one. Somehow, like my feet chakra open, and I'm like, that's the one. Okay, who knew? Didn't know these feet chakra could be so damn loud.
That's actually turned on for me too recently.
Has
The
it?
feet chakras. Yeah, I've been barefoot a lot because it's summer, but that was a deal I made with myself, was to be barefoot more because of this. So
Well, in that black earth under there too, there's something in that. One of the other words for the Aakatui is because it has the Aak. Hold on, Aakuti, Aakuti, Aakuti. So we get to that T, which is also the earth, right? So it's the double born, and it's the ku, which is like this matter, but it's like the matter that wakes up within the deepest parts of earth. Aakatui. Aakutiu. And she says, chanting that before you go to sleep will give you access to this. But essentially, the Aakutiu are also gods who have taken a sleeping state inside of the earth. And when the earth is ready, they will wake back up and rejoin the earth. Cool. That's you. That's you. You know, just a little light god making in your summer plans. Cool. Yeah.
Okay, so you on that, and combined with a note that you said earlier, so we were talking about the whole judgment piece, and then Michael came in and was like, "Let's just a higher perspective," and then like combining with what you said just now, like I think it was yesterday actually, I was having a conversation with Jordan, and like I was like, this feels really awkward to say because I don't mean it in any level of egotistical way. I'm not saying it because I want it even. There's just a feeling within me that like I'm a lot more special of a being than just like everybody else. I'm kind of important. I'm kind of hot shit in like the divinity world, you know what I mean? Like I mean this in the most humblest of way of just like I don't know, it's just like I just kind of feel that. And so like, okay, the two questions that surround this are how would you slash anybody else who'd like to input, how are you handling? How do you suggest handling? I'm finding myself in this weird place of like realizing this while also still trying to be the humble human that realizes she doesn't fucking know anything, while also then getting into times where you're in that place of judgment to other people. But like the conversation that I was having with Jordan too about the judgment when we were in Vegas and we were talking about everything, I was like, I feel like a fucking dick. Like, because I'm just like, he's like, but you're just objectively observing the situation and the experience. And I'm like, you're right. But like, I feel like such an asshole for even just like witnessing something and having the level of perception that then is higher than somebody else. Like, even
So
like
let's take
saying
it
that,
off
like,
of a hierarchy. And Matt
right,
Kahn's
right.
teaching on this that was so good. He's like, it's just discernment. It's not judgment. It's just your discernment that's like, not for me, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think actually, I think you just remind, I think we did say that it was discernment. Yeah. Because I was like, God, like, I don't feel like it's wrong for me to be having this perspective or be making notations of X, Y, and Z things that are in the normal 3D world that are frustrating or that are hurting my heart. And that's what it's really coming from, is hurting my heart because I can't be as intimate with you as I want to be because you're not at the level of awareness that may sometimes in most, like in certain cases, I need you to be up there in order to meet me. Otherwise, I kind of got to come down here, and then we can't be as intimate as I could get to. We can only be as intimate as you can get to. And then so like within that, my human starts to develop, like her heart hurts and she feels sad because like a little kid, like you know, she's not invited into the, like, to the circles or the groups or whatever. And so it's like, I don't know if anybody else has experienced this. Like, I experienced this after my awakening event last year too, where there was this sudden burst of awakening that filled me with so much love, so much amazing things. And then right after, there was a grief.
There's always the
And then,
grief because then we're outside of that joy, all right? The perceived separation of it.
well, like, the grief came in through me specifically for, like, there's now a grief because it's like almost like a further detachment from everybody else in a sense, or in that moment, my brain was like, okay, wait, am I about to ascend? Does that mean I'm dying and I'm leaving this planet? You know what I mean? Because, like, I didn't fucking understand it. So there's either way, whether energetically or physically, when you awaken, there becomes like you simultaneously get closer to everything, but then also,
Well, and you have to remember that as long as you're in this body, you've chosen to be here to help the rest of them.
right.
Right? Like, so I think that's where I try to keep coming to is like, yes, there's a discernment of like, yeah, no Coke for me, you fucking goobers. And at the same time, like, what level must you guys be at that this is still your gateway to be able to feel something? So there's compassion that can come in for it. Yeah, because that ego's a tricky one of like, what the fuck are you? No. Yeah. Oh, the Robert Edward Grant one, Dina. Ooh, you want to come in and say more about that?
Yeah, Destiny, go listen to that, because he, on one part, while you're talking, I'm reminded, as the female is in her divine, as the goddess, she has to humble herself and come down. And that allows the male to rise up. And that's where it meets. But the female portion, the female, the goddess, has to lower herself and humble herself in order to accept the male. And that allows that male to rise up to become the divine. But that podcast, it's long but so delicious and juicy. Oh my gosh.
And he talks about the mysteries. I think I messaged some of you guys because I was like, oh my God. But he talks about the mysteries and the need for mystery schools. And I have all kinds of notes in my phone about, I make notes about podcast. Like, that's just where my brain goes with shit is, yeah. Hey, Max, did we talk about a Jed penis online yet? Or are we doing that here? Where'd that go?
No, I didn't. I haven't. I think it's weird to just get online and start talking about my penis, so I haven't yet.
Can you now?
Sure, let's talk about my penis, guys. No, so the conversation a few weeks ago after Integration Nation was sex and just everything else that has awakened through this. And I was hoping when Michael Maddie started talking, he was going to join me, but then definitely he said that he has a pussy. Congratulations, buddy. I have an extra Jed. And through integrating each bit of it, I have noticed and Shelby has noticed. So
Cool.
That's where I'm at with that.
It was such a...
I want that.
Yeah, it was revelatory to me. Which is why I asked for it to be shared. So Max, thanks for being brave enough to go there. But like, I had no idea. Duh. Like, fucking duh. And so those of you who are in partnership, hopefully you can ask your partners to activate theirs in that way when they're ready and if the time is right. But and maybe, thank you, as we integrate our masculine and feminine aspects of self too, like, maybe I do have a jet penis and I just have not turned it on yet. Hello. Great. Sarah, you're looking at me like that's a duh? Is that what that face was? Duh. Cute. Okay.
I think Jordan just got some extra motivation to finish all of his videos that he's behind on.
Destiny, I did not send stuff to Jordan because I didn't know if he was participating. So your care package only had things for one. If I need to write that, would you let me know?
Oh, no, it's okay. I mean, unless you want him to have unless you think that it's necessary for him to have the care package, but I was just gonna, like, I get, does he need to be in? He should probably be invited in. Well, I can still, I was just planning on having him watch the recordings from just my account. Is that okay?
That's great. Yeah.
Okay. But that's
Yeah,
fucking hilarious, Max.
so good. What was in the care package for you guys was a dream journal, if you want to use it that way. Most of you also got, I think, the blue or the black gold pen. Like, I wanted those energies to start coming through, or it was like kind of a special color of a pen. The Jed was in there, and then a night light so that you can make notes at nighttime. Because that was what got me.
That looks like a crab claw from our Cancer Andy.
So fucking cute. I had no idea. But can I tell you, like, ordering those beautiful fucking notebooks from China, like, I probably talked to like 7 different Chinese vendors trying to find the ones that I wanted, and I'm glad that it could be a close. I thought it would be to start our dream school experience, but it's obviously to close it, and that was just perfect too. Just perfect. Thanks for being here. Can't wait to see what the fuck happens next. And happy Leo birthdays, Ashleen. Haha. Who else has got a Leo birthday in here? I know somebody else. Erin, you're in October, aren't you? You're a Libra birthday? Or Sages?
My birthday is Monday the 1st, which is one of the days that you mentioned was one of like a day at a time or a holy day or something.
We had the Mayan Day Out of Time, which was this last Monday, and then
That's my daughter's birthday. We just celebrated her birthday.
like such a wild little thing, and like how have I not ever paid attention to it? I don't know. But today being Horus, kind of a big deal. Tomorrow will be Set, and it almost feels like that, you know, Set's our Loki energy. Cool. Yeah, I'd probably put some offerings out for him so he doesn't fuck with too much. That's me, not you. And Sekhmet and Hathor, I'd be curious to see who she tapped, but all of a sudden for me, like I saw Hathor taps, or I saw Sekhmet tap some of you, and it was a rainbow Sekhmet, which doesn't really exist. I mean, I've seen her, but Nadia doesn't talk about her, the rainbow Sekhmet. There's a rainbow Hathor that started coming in, and her sound is oon. So for me, I started hearing as you got, like, Sekhmet was doing her thing, and then all of a sudden, like, started coming in.
I'll be curious if anyone else, but it got very Lyran as soon as you said Sekhmet for me. It was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw her tapping, and
This time,
it was
whenever
like a blast of tangles. I don't know, like right when that started happening, I didn't really like quote unquote see a lot today, but I felt a whole fucking lot of stuff in my body, and it was super, super somatic. And yeah, when you were like, somebody's tapping, I was like, is that what I'm feeling right now? It was like from my crown down, like the back of my head, my neck, through my arms to my fingertips, and like kind of back up. It was fucking weird, but it felt really nice actually. So I was like, give me more, give me more.
And I love that you said that, Gwen, because not like 14 star powers, 14 ways of being psychic is what we have. So the fact that you didn't see and you felt cool, that's just something else coming in. I've been smelling a lot more lately. Great.
I smelled
like
a lot too.
letting.
Very smoky.
Oh, interesting. Like letting all of the senses come on instead of like let yourself practice new ones. Yes, yes.
My tapping feeling was more like a tap in and out, and there was a couple of exchanges, like poses or fiber optics. Just
Aka. It's your
doing a
Aka.
little bit of, and the Shaka tea is really fun on a trampoline. If you do not have access to a trampoline, either buy yourself a cute little one on Amazon or go borrow your neighbors or something and try that. It's been really fun, like joyous.
Oh, joy. Thank you for adding the joy to it. I can. More joy, more joy, more joy. This idea that we can create from pure joy is kind of the next ask. We haven't done it. We've always done it out of duality. We'll always have polarity, but we get to create out of pure joy. And what does that look like? Don't know yet. Can't wait to find out. Hey. Okay, then I'm gonna go. What is that, Sarah? One of yours? Oh, thank God. Okay. A tooth. Speaking of shit changing, as we're restructuring bodies, Sarah has an extra tooth now that is not in her body. Cool.
Thank you, Andy, for another excellent session of Dream School.
I am thrilled. Yes, you're so welcome. What a delight. Have fun. Okay, I love you. See you soon.
Thank you. Love you all. Thank you so much, Andy.
Of course. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.